Right, Duncan, thanks for doing that role play. Now, I think what we have been able to demonstrate here is how you explore the possibility of different people being network members. So the people that you encounter who are coming for help are sometimes going to be ambivalent about asking people for help. And you've role played a good example of somebody who has rather um, damaged his relationships with other people because of his drinking. And what we're wanting to demonstrate here, what are the key points that are going to make people be wanting to be network members supportive of change?
I
And
guess people have to think something's going to be different because it's almost always the case that we've done this before, we've heard it all before, it's never worked before. Why is this one going to work? Why is this one different? So you've got to come up with something fairly convincing. I guess
and
what probably didn't come out in the demonstration there was that often people say, well, I haven't got anybody at all. In fact, they probably have in the way that we demonstrated it, but they kind of discounting all those people because they burnt their bridges with them
or feel that they did. And
or
what
feel that they did.
you're referring to this thing in the SBNT literature that refers to coping strategies. So people have used different coping strategies in the past. And when the drinking has continued, they have felt that their coping strategies haven't worked. The things they've tried to do in the past, they're feeling they haven't worked. So an important principle here is that network members need to feel there's something new about this. There's something different. There's something different for them. That also brings us on to the point that I asked you about what's in it for them. And just caring about the focal person is what's in it. That needs to be in it for them. And sometimes people will get a great deal more out of it, but just seeing the focal person make changes, caring about them and seeing them make changes is what's in it for them.
Of course, sometimes it's the opposite way, isn't it? That somebody who would be unsuitable would be my best friend who's a heavy drinker. And he would think, actually, this would be a great problem if you stopped drinking because then we wouldn't see each other and we wouldn't drink together. So sometimes it works that people feel, wow, we really don't want to be doing this. This is not going to be good for me.
Yes. And then you've got an additional challenge when you're thinking about what needs to be done to support the focal person. One of the things that needs to be done is to give them support in resisting the temptations that are provided by people who want them to keep on drinking, by unsuitable people who are unsuitable to support positive change.
What would you have said there if I'd really insisted that there was nobody that I could draw on? How would you have handled that?
If you had, and if we had explored, we would have first of all explored all the people that you know. So I might have explored what you had said about your son. I would have explored that. I would have explored a little bit with your neighbors, because often there are things like you discover that actually neighbors have been there for each other, picked things up from the shop, done things like that. And the neighbor might be a possibility to explore further. There might be somebody else in the son's family who might be a possibility. So I would keep exploring people that the person you were role playing knows. And I really, if I had exhausted all of that, then I would have gone for something more formal by way of treatment that was involved in a detoxification program. Some people even go for residential rehabilitation in the early stages. I would explore self-help groups, fellowship organizations, where you can get support from other people who've been through it. So that's where we would go with that.
Okay.
Okay.